You find Venus the way sailors used to find it, as a bright, beautiful promise near the horizon. From far away, it looks like a soft pearl, a peaceful twin to Earth, glowing with calm confidence. But as you close in, the glow stops feeling romantic and starts feeling predatory, like a lantern over a trap. The clouds don't welcome you, they hide you. This is Venus, Earth's twin transformed into hell. To the casual observer, Venus is similar to Earth. Nearly the same size, roughly the same mass. A planet that should have been a second home. From Earth, it shines like a jewel at dusk, so bright you could mistake it for a blessing. But the truth is that Venus is not a sister world. It is a warning, wearing a familiar face. Imagine you descend through the clouds. At first, you might think you found relief, because sunlight becomes a dirty amber, and the planet looks almost gentle from above. But the clouds are not water. They are sulfuric acid, a corrosive ceiling that eats and stings and never rains mercy. And beneath them, the air thickens into something that doesn't behave like air at all. Venus's atmosphere is a crushing ocean of carbon dioxide, about 96.5% CO2, piled so deep it turns the sky into a weight. At the surface, the pressure is around 92 bar, like being nearly a kilometre underwater on Earth, except the water is gas that wants to flatten you. The temperature down there is about 467 degrees Celsius, hot enough to make metals like lead behave like liquid. You wouldn't burn like you do in a fire, you would cook inside a pressure cooker the size of a planet. Now feel the contradiction. Venus is not the closest planet to the Sun, yet it is the hottest. Not because it is near, but because it is sealed. Heat goes in and cannot come back out, trapped by greenhouse gases like a scream behind a locked door. We thought distance decided temperature. Venus proves imprisonment matters more. Imagine you step onto the ground, and the first thing you notice is how wrong the light is. The thick atmosphere scatters the sun into a dim, orange haze, like the world is lit through smoke. Shadows are weak and blurred, as if even darkness is exhausted. The ground beneath you is basaltic rock and crushed dust, shaped by ancient lava flows and relentless chemical weathering. It looks solid, but it feels like a surface that has been cooked for a very long time. Venus is slow in a way that feels unnatural. A single rotation takes about 243 Earth days, and it spins backward, retrograde, like it's trying to rewind time. It completes an orbit around the Sun in about 225 Earth days, meaning a day on Venus is longer than a year on Venus. Imagine the Sun rising in the west, crawling across the sky with humiliating patience, and setting in the east after months. Time here doesn't pass, it drags you. And yet, above that hellish surface, the planet pretends to be fast. High in the clouds, winds can whip around the globe in just a few Earth days, a phenomenon called superrotation. The top of the atmosphere races while the ground barely breathes, with surface winds often moving like a lazy whisper. it's another impossible split. Furious motion above, suffocating stillness below. Venus is a planet made of mismatched speeds, like its body can't agree on how to live. Then come the mountains that don't look like Earth's mountains. Some highlands, called tesserae, are wrinkled and fractured like the crust was kneaded, folded and scarred under colossal stress. They look ancient, like the last surviving memory of a different Venus. A Venus that might once have had water, maybe even shallow seas, before the planet turned on itself. If that past is real, then what you are seeing now is not natural evolution. It is a transformation, a fall. We keep asking the same question because it won't leave us alone. How did a near twin become this? One leading nightmare is a runaway greenhouse. Warming triggers more water vapor. Water vapor traps more heat. Oceans evaporate. Sunlight breaks water apart. Hydrogen escapes to space, and the planet dries into a furnace. The process doesn't need malice, it just needs momentum. Venus is what happens when feedback loops don't stop. But Venus isn't only a story about atmosphere. The ground may still be restless. Radar maps show vast volcanic plains, and the planet's surface looks relatively young in geological terms, as if it was resurfaced by huge outpourings of lava. The horror here is not just what happened, it's what might still be happening, hidden under clouds that refuse to let you watch. If Venus erupts, it does it behind a curtain. The strangest part is how little we truly know from direct touch. We have sent machines into this hell, and Venus has answered with destruction. The Soviet Venera landers made it to the surface and transmitted briefly, like voices calling from inside a burning room. Venera 7 in 1970 became the first to soft land on another planet and send data back, but it lasted only minutes in the heat and pressure. Later, Venera 13 returned color panoramas from the surface in 1982, and even that triumph survived only a short time before the planet silenced it. Venus doesn't allow long conversations. For years, orbiters watched from above, safer but still challenged by the planet's thick atmosphere and harsh environment. Japan's Akatsuki studied Venus's weather for a decade, and then even that watcher went quiet, with JAXA ending operations in 2025. One of the most haunting details about Venus today is how empty it became. A world so close, so bright, and, for a time, with no active spacecraft left to witness it. And still, we keep planning returns, because Venus feels like unfinished business. NASA's Da Vinci is designed to plunge through the atmosphere and taste what the clouds are hiding, aiming for the early 2000s and 30s. Veritas is built to map the planet's surface in sharp detail and search for signs of geological activity, also targeting the early 2030s. ESA's Envision is planned to join that decade too, bringing radar and spectroscopy to connect the surface to the atmosphere, trying to explain how the twin became the monster. Now go deeper, not into rock, but into meaning. You would see a landscape that doesn't look dramatic at first glance. Plains, ridges, scattered rocks. But you would feel the violence in the air, the crushing weight, the temperature that never lets up, the sense that the planet has decided equilibrium means suffering. Frozen worlds can feel dead. Venus feels alive in the worst way, like an engine that can't shut off. So you pull back, past the acid clouds, past the racing winds, and Venus becomes beautiful again. A bright evening star, a gentle-looking twin. That's the final deception, because what you are really seeing is a world that proves how thin the line is between Earth-like and unlivable. Venus doesn't need claws. It has physics. It has pressure. It has heat trapped for ages. And it will keep shining in our sky, calm and lovely, while beneath that glow, the hell never ends.